Welcome back to Tuck's Traveler. Well, today we are going to head north of Rock Springs, Wyoming. Not too far. We're actually going to venture just about 10 miles north and then take a little dirt road about another 20 miles into the desert. We find a few interesting things out there that few people know about other than Sweetwater County residents. Number one thing you're going to find back there is you're going to find an old volcano. It is no longer active, but it is one of the two volcanic structures in the state of Wyoming, the other being, of course, the famous Devil's Tower. Yet Boars Tusk still does tower over the surrounding desert region in a very impressive structure. The other thing that we're going to find, and Boars Tusk is right on the edge of it, is the Killpecker Sand Dunes. Now, these sand dunes, you will very rarely find it on lists of anything, but it is actually the second largest active sand dunes in the world. Now, when you go and look for sand dune references, most everything goes by the height. The Killpecker Sand Dunes are not particularly high. They're just very active and very large. In fact, as I got to the end, it washed out my road. So we simply had to stop and play in the sand because nothing else. Now, the other thing you're going to find up on this road is a petroglyph site. It is called the White Mountain Petroglyph site, which is a very nice rock with just tons of different petroglyphs in there. Maybe not as impressive as the ones we see in other places that we'll detail later on this channel, but still, nevertheless, they are pretty cool looking petroglyphs that we will see.
Well, it's not everywhere you can stop your car right literally in the middle of the road, but kind of middle of nowhere. The problem is we had a little Y in the road, and I don't remember if I have to take this way or this way. So I have a sign back here for Long Canyon and Crooked Canyon, and there's something written over here as well, so I'm trying to determine which route I want to take. GPSs are fairly useless out here, which is hilarious. So let's see, does this sign say anything? Well, it is Wyoming, so yes, it says things, but the sign is indeed riddled with bullets, so I wouldn't expect anything else. And I'm trying to just look around and see the direction I'm trying to get to, and I believe, since this is going into canyons that way, and I'm actually going to sand dunes, I think I need to go this way, so straight on the same road that I have been going on. And there's nothing else there, so we're just gonna go ahead and continue on. There is, of course, some nice amazing sand formations over here. We're kind of getting close to the sand dunes, which I can sort of see off in the horizon this way, and if you look over this way in the horizon, you might be able to see the Wind River mountain range, so that's pretty cool. Well, I've made it to Boars Tusk, which is it's an old volcano. Pardon me if I'm out of breath, but I just hiked up the mountain. There's the van. Yay, home! The cats are like, please don't put me through that again. This is about approximately 15-20 miles of dirt road. Some of it's all right, some of it's pretty bad. The thing is, though, is being in a van, if I actually wanted to, I'd just camp out here. Since I have friends in this town, I'm just going to go over there, but this would be a nice place to be. There actually are a couple people here taking photographs. I think they're kind of going around. There's a trail loop that goes around the mountains, so they might be coming back through on the other side. I wanted to get out here and hike up to the top of this. Just been here once before, and I thought about making it as far as the sand dunes. I haven't decided if I'm going to yet or not. They are right there. So it's only a couple miles. I need to backtrack on the single lane road, back to the main dirt road, and I think it's a few more miles of the dirt road, and I have some errands I need to run in town too, so I'm not sure I'm going to get the chance to get out to the sand dunes. But it is a nice place. And for anybody that is out there telling you, our world is too overpopulated, you haven't been to places like Wyoming. I have a sneaky suspicion that many of the people that are telling us that, they've never jumped in a van and gotten out of their city limits. Now, if I go over on the other side there, I'll take some good pictures, but there's Pilot Butte. It's kind of to my back right now. I need to walk around the edge of the mountain. If you stand on top of that and look over here, you have a space of desert the size of the state of Connecticut that is unpopulated.
The volcano was fun, but I decided that I am going to go out and see the sand dunes. I mean, it is probably more impressive than the volcano, and it's really only about 2 more miles down this hellscape road. So we'll continue on down. We made a little turn into what I think is going to be the quickest and easiest route, and after a weird road, the road turned into this very smooth, soft sand. Well, we'll see if the road lasts until the end, but the good news is if it dies, it'll be a sand dune.
I've made it to the foothills of the sand dunes. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it out this far, but you can kind of see where the road is pretty much turned into sand, and it's just really a shift in vegetation and just a lot of other cool stuff like that. So we were going through a lot of sage fields, and now we're mostly in sand and grass. Well, it was a bumpy road, but we got to it. This is the Killpecker Sand Dunes over here, and if I'm not mistaken, I could be, I'll double check my facts, but I believe this is the largest active sand dunes in the United States. And you can kind of see there's been some people here not too long ago. You can see some footprints, but you see the wind patterns all over here. Now, as typically happens right here in this spot, the sand dunes actually wash out the road. So this road goes out to the study area and the sand dunes just destroy it. So I'm not going to bring the van any further down the road here. I just wanted to get down to the sand dunes and take some excellent photos over here and get a chance to walk up these guys and see what we see. It's like a giant sandbox. My cats would love it. All right, well, we have made it up to the White Mountain Petroglyphs. I wasn't sure I was going to make it up this far or not, but I said, you know what? I'm already 10 miles back on that road from hell. May as well, right? So I've actually not been here, despite living just south of here. So we'll kind of see what we see.
The petroglyphs are pretty cool. They're all embedded in this little mountain. In fact, I remember when I lived here, somebody actually vandalized it, which is really stupid. I mean, why bother? Of course, modern day means they probably came out and carved some uncouth thing in the side of the mountain, but these ones are the genuine petroglyphs, which have been out here for quite a long time. There are a number of them. I did not take a picture of all of them, and I think you can actually hike up a little bit more and see some more, but nevertheless, what we have here is quite impressive. Well, I've seen a lot of cool things. We visited and climbed up a volcano and got to the end of the road where a sand dune caved the whole thing in, and then I actually went up to the petroglyphs, which even though I've lived only about 10 miles from this spot for several years, I'd never visited. It was pretty cool. So anyway, that was our trip to the area just north of Rock Springs. Now, I did not camp here because I have lots of friends in Rock Springs. Plenty of places in the city I can stay. But if I didn't, there is a non-fee BLM area up here with a pit toilet, actually, so you don't have to pack out your waste. And that is definitely worth stopping at and camping here. And that is right on the edge of the sand dunes down the other road that I did not take today. Thanks for watching this edition of Tux Traveler. Subscribe to the channel if you've not already. And after we've gotten to the end of this 20 miles of road, we need to inspect what the earthquake has done.
Well, we went through several miles of road there, and we got an earthquake to deal with. And most of the stuff is generally fine. Let me make sure I had a couple glass jars, and they were banging each other, and didn't see any breaks there, so that's good. A bunch of stuff did fall off of my top up there. I just left it on the floor. Why bother picking it up? The one issue that I'm seeing is that this guy here looks like it rattled out. So you can see how that drive is sitting. It should be sitting up like that. There's actually 2 whole screws in there that are bolted in. And so I need to look into that one pretty quick, actually. I did not expect an issue with those, but we'll actually have a look. So those are actually full-fledged bolts. They're not screws, they're actually bolts that go all the way through. So I'm going to have to look into those, maybe pull out the electrical cabinet and work on that a little bit. But yeah, that was a lot of rattling. The cats are pissed. Right, Kitty? Are you happy about that? She's like, hell no. Wasn't happy about that at all. But anyway, hopefully we've got some good footage, and we will see what happens with it.